Hello and good day. So, what are car payments costing you? So the numbers I'm going to be using here are the recent, a little bit rough, but the recent numbers for the average car payment in America. That's right about $500. So, 40 years, $500 a month. Every month for 40 years. That would be a total of, let me do the math real quick. 40 years, that's right about 480 months, which is right about, I should just do it this backwards, 6,000 a year, 60,000, 240,000. I'm sorry that equation took so long. $240,000 over the course of 40 years. You invested that. If you didn't have a car payment, you bought your cars in cash and invested that. That's $5 million over 40 years. 12% interest, 10%, right about there. Pretty easy to get if you have some understanding in mutual funds and get the good ones that outperform the basic S&P 500. And that's average, of course. Some years will be better, some years will be worse, and I highly implore you to learn and understand, do investing and do things because you understand, not because other people tell you to do them. And that $5 million car that the average middle class American is driving now. That one, and the one he got after that. And when that broke down, and he paid it off in the next one. So, by feeling like you always need a brand new car, or you always need to have a car payment, instead of buying your cars in cash, by believing that's impossible to be without debt in a car payment, that's a $5 million car you're driving. 40 years, $500 average a month, 12% average a year, annually, from if you invested that. A total of $240,000 would turn into about $5 million. I really hope the people who have already done this really like their car, but for the people who are still partway through or are not doing this yet, hopefully I convince you to get out of it, save up, buy your cars in cash. How quickly can you save up, buy a $1,000 car? Then after you drive that for a couple months, a $3,000 car, $5,000, $10,000. Although cars are something that go down in value, you don't want a quadruple whammy of paying more than it's worth, it going down in value, you having to take the risk of being in debt, and your most valuable asset or wealth building tool, which is your income, being put towards payments rather than being invested, which of course is what I'm talking about making $5 million off of your investments. And that's just for a car payment of $500 based on proper, good, mutual funds. So I'm hoping that you guys will you will pay cash for your cars. You will save up to buy the next one and keep the repairs. You shouldn't put more into a car repair than the car is worth, because it's only going to be worth as much as, it's worth. So a $1,000 car, you wouldn't put $2,000 to replace that. You'd buy a $2,000 car or a $1,000 car, the one that actually works. And the same thing for a $3,000 or $5,000, although it's a little more rare at that higher level, but it still happens. And it's still, you don't want to buy more car than you can really afford, especially because you would rather wait and build up your wealth and be able to actually afford whatever toys you want, because they're a small part of your world. But the average American, person who spends 40 years, a span of their life, but always having a car payment, which averages about $500, is throwing away their most valuable, or a very large portion of their most valuable wealth building tool, their income. And I show you the math to figure out, if you go to a compounding calculator and do it yourself, type in, you can figure it out and type in and gets very similar, if not the exact number. Although, of course, 5 million's rounding down a little bit, but the actual cost to going in debt over a vehicle is very incredible, really. The most valuable wealth building tool you have being wasted shows just the result of, if you bought your cars in cash, you could buy significantly more toys and not be hit with a quadruple whammy of risk of debt, more than it's actually worth, going down in value, losing your income, your wealth building tool by paying payments, and instead of investing and saving for emergencies and such things. So hopefully this helps you guys to understand the cost of debt, the cost of buying a brand new car, the cost of buying or having car payments. That is a common belief that you'll always have that or always should have that. And normal is broke in America. 70% or more of people live paycheck to paycheck, meaning they have more month than they do money, meaning they spend all their money and usually go into debt rather than actually be able to live on less they make, save, and invest, and eventually achieve financial freedom. So hopefully this helps you guys understand the costs. Hopefully it helps you guys to feel better about whatever vehicle you may be driving now. And if you're buying or driving a clunker or a beater, to make sure to understand it's temporary. You're working towards a goal. Eventually you'll be able to buy whatever toys you want to a point, and it'll be a small part of your world, while your security will be immense, versus you being owned by the car and your world being the car. So if you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And if you'd like to hear more content like this, feel free to subscribe, and have a good day.